Alchemist, the Entertainment Tribes. Hello and welcome back, everybody. Oh, seventh expansion. True. Skip the opening this time. No need to listen to it every time. I mean, we could. We actually could. I don't mind, but I don't know. Whoa, that's a bit loud for me. I'll lower it on my end. Load the game. Okay, it's been a bit like a little bit before or since I last recorded. 19th of March was the last time, and now it's 29th. I had a bit of a sickness thingy going on and IRL troubles, so but it should be mostly fine. I mean, it's not fine, but we push on anyways. Yeah, let's continue. We finished with the interesting things about guessing stuff about the epitaph, and now we push forward. We also had that great scene with Maria. A new sticker popped up on top of the... Oh, actually, let me... Since I forgot to do it in the last episode on part, let me just check if there's anything new here. There... Ooh. Okay. Yeah, so these are all the same. I don't believe they would put like new stuff in these. Here. Okay, so we have a new thing here. Cool. So I don't need to keep the thing open, or I mean, I still have it there because it's more convenient to have it open all the time, but yeah. Cool, okay. Rest in peace, my beloved witch Beatrice. Cool. Have I ever clicked controls? Ah, okay. If there are arrows next to the text, you can scroll it using the mouse wheel or two finger swipe gesture. Thank you. Whatever. Oh, it's timed. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. And then, do we have anything new in characters? Probably not. Let me just quickly go through them. Just take a real quick and dirty look at them. Don't think there's anything new here. Okay. Okay, sure. Nothing new here as far as I know. But you guys can let me know if something had changed and I just missed it because I was just quickly checking if there were any large changes. Okay, let's continue. A new sticker popped up on top of the TV program we were watching. Okay. Right, about the typhoon. The disaster report told how many municipalities all over were continually sending out rain, flood, and wave warnings. That big, huh? Of course, the harshly beating raindrops on the window were much more convincing. True. Good to see you again, my man.
でもこれだけ盛大だとすぐにやみそうな気もするけどな。
そりゃ雨ぜ。台風の速度が遅いそうだから、下手すりゃ明日も丸一日こんな調子らしいぜ。
You have a much more evil facial expression right now. I guess it's just like supposed to be mischievous. I don't know, maybe.
ちょっとの天気でも船は欠航するもんだしよ。
Sure.
やっぱり日曜日のうちには引き上げられないか。
Hmm. I mean, I feel like stuff is gonna go down anyways. Like you wouldn't be able to go out regardless of the weather, but sure.
念のため月曜日に外部とのスケジュールを入れなくて正解だったよ。
ってことは月曜の学校はサボれそうだな。
Good for you.
島生活ってのも悪くないもんだぜ。そういや、ジェシカは登校って毎日船で通ってるわけだろ？
What? Really? That's interesting.
船が欠航したら学校はどうなるんだ？
Wait, is this like something with Jessica? You have to take a boat to school every day, right? Like, is she going to school every day while here? Or does this mean that her actual home is like in a place where they would regardless need boating trips to attend to school? I don't know. I mean, Rouse and Natsuhi are very much investing on Rokkenjima right now, but I don't think they're living here. I could be wrong. But, yeah.
カメハメハ大王並みに雨が降ったらお休みで風が吹いたら遅刻してか。
Kamehameha, huh.
船が出なきゃ休みになるぜ。もっともそう甘くはねえけどな。
Still need to study at home.
大抵その代わりに自習が指示されて後でかっちりと見られるからそうそう気楽でもねえさ。
Hmm.
例えば梅雨なんかの長く天気が崩れる時期だと数日間くらい登校できないこともあるんじゃねえのか？
そういうこともあるぜ。でも毎日きっちり担任から電話がかかってきてどう自習しろ何を提出しろと酸っぱく指導されるけどな。
Do they... No, it's 1886. There's still probably like not really any mobile phone connections. So like I don't think there's like any phone connection to outside Rokkanjima from here. Unless Kinjo actually just did a GigaJet move and pulled the lines through the bottom of the ocean. But like, yeah, this is probably an isolated island and there's only like phone lines within the island itself. Like during this guest house and the main mansion.
バトラ君が考えてるほど簡単にはサボれないよ。船で通う人たちのルールに従ってしっかり勉強をしているよ。
She has to follow the rules for people that travel to school by boat. Like, this is a bizarre concept to me, but I guess it happens in some places where there's a lot of water or small islands or whatever.
むしろ登校できた方が気楽だぜ。自分の部屋じゃ気が散るし集中もできねえしな。それでいて問題集ばっかり数日もやらされてるとかなり精神的に応えるもんがあるぜ。大学の時にはよ、寮のあるところに入ってさっさとこんな不便な島はおさらばしたいもんだぜ。
Say goodbye and good riddance to this pain in the ass on I mean, yeah, maybe she is commuting from here, from Rokkenjima, or I don't know. Is the what's the name of the other island? Let me just pull up my notes again. Is Nijima an island? I don't think so, but could be. Maybe.
へえ。じゃあよ、ちなみに行きは天気が良くても帰りは悪くて欠航ってなったらどうすんだ？学校に泊まるのか？
そういうのはよくあることだぜ。
Oh, cool. I don't think I've ever spent an overnight at school. No, I've stayed late. Really late, but I don't think I've spent the night. Really late, as in there was a Halloween party.
だから祈祷できない人用の宿泊所があってよ。そこに寝泊まりするんだよ。
Okay. Lodgings for people who can't get back to the island.
下手すりゃ数日間家に帰れないこともあったりするぜ。
乗車率が 200% を超えるような満員電車で毎日通勤通学しなければならない人から見てみると、船の通学なんて趣があって良さそうだななんて無責任に思っちゃうけど、
I mean, I guess. Feels like there's much more room.
やっぱりいろいろと苦労があるんだね。
Yeah, seems like a real hassle to go by boat.
よく無神経な観光客がそういうこと言ってるぜ。
Oh, no. I don't think I ever noticed that Jessica's outfit had like a purple outline here and here. Huh, interesting. I like it. This is an interesting face from George.
私は島の生活なんてもうお腹いっぱいだね。早く高校出てこんな島とはおさらばしたいぜ。
I guess she just is commuting from Rokkenjima or Nijima if it is an island.
高校にだって全寮制のところとかあったろうよ。
Not that it really matters anyways. Probably. But still. Probably.
なんでわざわざ新島の学校を選んだんだよ。
Choose the school on Nijima. Okay, so yeah, okay, sure. I guess that confirms it.
私は最初からそれを希望してたぜ。
Oh, really?
でもおふくろがよ、当主後継ぎとしての修行やらマナーやらがうんぬんってうるさくてよ。結局高校も地元になっちまったのさ。はあ、こんな島はごめんだぜ。
The only reason why I was questioning it was because the English line says this island, which would like refer to Rokkenjima, but the Japanese line that Jessica is saying is Onna, which means an island like this, which doesn't necessarily mean that it's Rokkenjima specifically, but let's just go with it for now.
早く都会で生活したいよ。
Also cute pout.
雨が降ろうが槍が降ろうがラフな格好でサンダルを履けば5分足らずでコンビニに行けるような都会に引っ越したいぜ。
Sure. I don't know. I'd like to live in a more rural place. But I guess that's coming from someone who's lived in a city their whole life.
もう少しの辛抱だよ。高校卒業まであとちょっとでしょ。
Oh, no, not that. It is October, yes. I mean, until, I guess, due date March, maybe? Maybe February, because the new school year starts in April. But I think the third years graduate a bit earlier, somewhere to the new year.
そのちょっとも我慢できねえぜ。
Jessica stretched out and reclined on the sofa. Maybe because now was a bad time slot, there weren't any interesting programs on. And we had nothing to do but languidly. It's an interesting word. I know it and I've seen, but I don't know how to pronounce it. Languidly? I guess. Languidly kill time until we were called for dinner. In the end, Maria had not returned to the cousin's room. Uh-oh. And Kinzo was going on about Beatrice being out there, but then also going on about her revival too, so I don't know. Kinzo was just yapping out of his mind. He had probably been brought back to the mansion by Auntie Rosa. Okay. It had to be pretty boring for Maria all by herself while the adults are having a confusing conversation. We thought we might head over to the mansion to see her, but after all, there was this lousy weather. And there wasn't much time until dinner, so we stayed where we were. Yeah, I heard that. That time, we heard the sound of a humble knock. Is it Maria? Is it one of the servants, maybe? Shannon? Jessica answered.
お食事の準備が整いました。
Canon.
お屋敷へお越しください。
Thank you, Canon. It was Canon-kun's voice. He went to all the trouble of coming from the mansion in this rain just to call us over. Couldn't he have just called us on the telephone? Oh well, maybe sometimes part of a servant's duty is to go against common sense.
なんとなくお腹が空いてきた頃だったしね。
Yeah, good timing, Canon.
行こうか。
George Aniki turned off the television and stood up.
俺はとっくにペコペコ。本家の晩餐は毎回凝ってるしな。それに郷田さん、子牛のステーキとか言ってなかったっけ？たまらねえぜ。
Okay, half a cow moo.
親族会議の日は特に豪華になるしな。私だって楽しみだぜ。
I would like a very extravagant meat dish right now too.
行こう行こ
Take me with you. As we left the room, Canon-kun bowed silently and respectfully. Just put your hand on, which is on your chest, into a fist, and then the other hand behind your back, and shout out Sasageo.
う。じゃあ行こうぜ。外の振りはだいぶひどいだろう。
はい。お召し物を濡らさぬよう十分ご注意ください。
After seeing the three of us out, Canon-kun peered into the empty room. Okay, that was weirdly coincidental rain stopping sound point, but sure.
マリア様はいらっしゃいませんか？
一緒じゃないぜ。ローザおばさんと一緒じゃないのかよ。
Yeah, where is Maria? Rosa, lying on a sofa in the empty parlor, had fallen asleep at some point. Uh-oh. She was bearing a burden on her shoulders that the children could never even imagine. Yeah? Therefore, when she let herself relax, that exhaustion quickly led her into the world of sleep. Realizing this, Genji brought a blanket over to her good guy Genji ++. When he tried to spread it over her, her eyes snapped open as though she had received an electric shock. Okay, well, someone has been trained to not let people get close. That's maybe something to keep in mind. No worries, it's just Genji, the goodest of good boys.
ありがとう。源氏さんなのね。
When she realized that the thing that had touched her was just a blanket, and that Genji had been considerately giving it to her, she let out a sigh of relief.
起こしてしまいましたか。失礼いたしました。
I don't know why, but my mind immediately went to the more darker, like reasonings why she would be so jumpy. Something's sexually assaulted by her husband or something, sexually abused, you know.
いえ、いいの。寝るつもりじゃなかったから。今は何時なの？
Asked for the time, Genji checked a pocket watch that he took out of his chest pocket.
6時を少し過ぎたところです。
Wrong. It's 4 p.m. my time. And you liar. Rosa gave her a little shake. Her head a little shake as she realized that, even though it had felt like she had slept for a long time, not much time had actually passed. Even though she didn't feel rested at all, the drowsiness that wrapped around her felt very deep. True.
ありがとう。毛布は結構よ。変な時間に眠っちゃダメね。すっかり時間の感覚が狂っちゃったわ。
Mm-hmm.
雨、とうとう降り出したのね。
Rosa finally realized that the peaceful sound that had put her to sleep was actually the rain that had started falling. Was the rain?
風もだいぶ出てるよね。
Maybe.
いよいよ台風なのかしら。
Yes.
そのようにテレビでは申しております。遅い台風だそうで、明日いっぱいはこんな調子だそうです。
Okay.
そう。この素敵なバラ庭園も日中のあれが見納めだったのね。
From the window, what she could see of the rose garden was completely blurred by the wind and the rain.
マリア。
Yeah, where is Maria?
そうだ。マリアは？
That's what I said.
私はお見かけしておりませんが。
Hello? That's ominous.
ゲストハウスにお戻りではないでしょうか。
Nope. Rosa knew her daughter's nature well, and a chill ran up her back. I mean, she could still technically be in the rose garden looking, just staring at the spot where the rose should be. Maria was stupidly straightforward, to the point that stupidly could be repeated 7 times. Sure. And if she was ordered to find something that didn't exist, she would look forever and ever. Is this a common phrase, repeated 7 times, or is this something they chose randomly, or is there some deeper meaning? Right. 7 times repeating something. Like, I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, there's 1, then 2, but this doesn't mean killing necessarily. This could be, like they mentioned or discussed, this could be like relating to romance, romantical or like relationship stuff. But if we assume that it is, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, this is not necessarily a killing, but it still says none shall be left alive. I don't know. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I definitely am. don't mind me. I know the game at the very beginning, before we started episode 1, it said that don't think too hard about anything, just go with the flow, go with the story, and just take it easy. So yeah, I'm just trying to, I don't know, at least understand the story. But also I'm probably throwing out too many theories or ideas without much at all to go off of, though. Yeah, sorry. Right, look forever and ever. Even if rain was pouring down, and the rain comes back in. Nice.
違うわ。
No?
いとこの子たちは先に行ってしまったから、あそこにはマリア一人。
Yeah?
あの子は誰かにもうやめろと言われない限り、たとえ槍が降ってこようとあそこに居続けるわ。
Who knew?
傘もささずに。私は感情に任せてなんてことを。
As her mother, she had known about Maria's foolish straightforwardness better than anyone. Yet she had once again lost control of her emotions and done such a horrible thing. Once again. Okay, sure. Yeah, true. Go after her. Rosa pushed Genji away and ran down the hallway. You could take Genji with you, but I guess you're in a state of panic. The outside really looked like a typhoon and was pouring down magnificently. Maybe because of some figure of the terrain, the winds were not as strong as a typhoon, so an umbrella wouldn't be torn out of one's hands. I don't know. Even so, it was enough to call it a storm. There was no time to admire the roses being soaked by the rain.
とりあえず今はマリアが気になるぜ。
Hey, good guy battler.
まさかあの後もずっと一人でへそ曲げてあそこでバラ探しをしてるなんてことはないよな。
Yes.
そうだね。さすがにこの雨じゃと思いたいところだけど、マリアちゃんはたまにすごく頑固でものすごく愚直な時がある。
True. I know this. This was just mentioned. I have learned this. I agree. We hadn't worried much, thinking that Auntie Rosa had taken her back to the mansion. However, it was concerning that Kanon-kun had thought that Maria was here when he came from the mansion to call us. Yeah, and the front yard is the rose garden, right? And if he didn't see Maria there, then that's concerning.
お屋敷ではお見かけしませんでしたので、てっきりこちらにおられるとばかり。
Although it's like very reasonably possible that it's not right straight in front of the path that leads from the mansion to the guest house, the rose garden, so Kanon could have easily missed Maria if she was standing in the rose garden.
ローザ様は仮眠を取られておいででしたので。
ここに来る途中に見かけなかったのかよ。
申し訳ございません。傘を差し急ぎ駆け抜けたもので、そこまでの注意を払いませんでした。
Fair. If he had cut through the rose garden on the shortest line between the mansion and the guest house, then he would have missed the place where Maria had been looking for her rose by a little. Okay, sure. And it was raining this hard too. There was a good chance that Kanon-kun had failed to notice her.
ここで議論するより直接確かめる方が早いさ。兄貴、ちょいとかけっこと行こうじゃねえかよ。
6年成長したから僕に勝てるつもりかい？よし、決着をつけようじゃないか。
I like this race. Good idea.
行こう。
George, Aniki, and I flew out into the rain. Jessica and Kanon-kun followed us. Nice voice acting.
ローザおばさんだ。おばさん。
When George Aniki called back, Auntie Rosa flew at him in what almost amounted to a tackle.
マリアはどこ？ジョージ君たちと一緒じゃないの？
いえ、僕たちはあの後マリアちゃんには出会ってません。
6 years ago, Maria had been 3 years old. He had been a cute and pure kid who would just accept whatever anyone said. But 6 years had passed since then. She was 9 now, and experiencing the good and bad parts of life should have taught her something. And experiencing the good and bad parts of life should have taught her something, right? And yet, she's still just as innocent and pure as she used to be. Is there something there?
Maria!
As I circled the rose bed, something white unexpectedly turned to face me. It was a white umbrella. Maria, holding a white umbrella, was crouching, still searching for that rose. Hello, Maria. Her face, which had turned bright red, from her crying her eyes out, was dirtied with water and mud. It was a truly pitiful sight.
お前まだ探してたのか。
I don't know if this kind of sprite from Battler normally had like eyeshadow here, but if it did, I never noticed. But I like it. It indicates great sense of worry or stress.
見つからない。マリアのバラ見つからない。
Maria had probably been here since the rain had started pouring down. It looked like her shoulders were freezing. She looked tired to the bone, but fortunately, since she was holding an umbrella, she was not completely soaked. It was probably an umbrella from the handbag that Maria was always walking around with. Thank goodness. Yeah, true. Seriously, thank goodness. Yeah, true.
バトラ君、よかった、見つけたんだね。
ごめんなさい。本当にごめんなさい。
Auntie Rosa threw her own umbrella away and hugged Maria. Good mom. Yeah?
ない。マリアのバラがない。後でママも一緒に探してあげるから。ね。だから今日はお預けにしなさい。
Hmm.
今日はお預け。
It looked like Maria still wasn't able to accept it, but she no longer had enough energy left to resist. Jessica and Kanon-kun caught up with us.
すぐにお屋敷でタオルの用意をさせましょう。
マリアずっとここにいたのか。ごめんね。本当に悪いママでごめんね。
At least you are showing sincerity and apologizing. That's good.
ローザおばさん、とりあえずお屋敷に行きましょう。このままじゃマリアちゃん風邪をひいちゃう。
そうね。マリア、行きましょう。ちゃんときれいにしないとおじいさまに怒られちゃうわよ。
Maybe.
お腹すいた。もう食事の時間だぜ。マリアはよく頑張ったよ。天気が良くなったら私たちも一緒に探してやるから。
We couldn't stay in the rain forever. We took Maria with us as we headed back to the mansion. Maria apparently wasn't as weak as I had thought. When she remembered that dinner was half steak, she started chanting, "I'm hungry, hungry, ooh ooh," and returned to her usual healthy self. Auntie Rosa didn't chide Maria on her ooh ooh.
そっか。傘を持っていたのか。さすがマリアは物持ちがいいぜ。マリア、傘なんか持ってない。
Oh. You had an umbrella. Huh. That's interesting.
なんだよ。じゃあその手に持ってる白い傘はどうしたんだよ。
You know, Beatrice gave it to her.
貸してもらった。
It seemed that some caring person had brought her an umbrella. Wait, I said that as a joke. Wait a minute. Normal girl would look for shelter once it started raining. but there was no way Maria's stubbornness would be broken by something like that. So maybe that person gave up recommending that she find shelter and at least brought an umbrella for her.
そうその人にお礼を言わないとねラーレ
I swear, if she's if she says Beatrice right now, you might fucking go. Of course. So group, what are we thinking right now? Yeah. The name that Maria mentioned very happily was that of the island's witch. Rosa took a deep breath and asked again, trying to avoid hurting Maria's feelings now that she was happy.
そうよかったわねそれで誰なの傘を持ってきてくれた人は
I have this like incredible smirk on my face right now. It's like a half grin, not a smile, but like I don't know. They've really done a great job building up Beatrice so far. I'm really interested in meeting her eventually. Oh, sorry, fuck. Listen to it again. I thought I had to click. Oh, it doesn't let me yet. I need to go to next. There. I thought I had to click after this one, but it automatically. There we go. Maria, who quickly picked up that her mother didn't believe her, made an angry face once again. So, Rosa stopped pursuing the subject. It looked like it would be faster to ask the person who had lent Maria the umbrella during dinner rather than ask Maria herself. Sure.
お父さん
Hello, Kraus.
せめて晩餐にだけは出席してください
I like the attention to detail that they've actually made the rain pour behind the windows here.
これでは親族会議になりません
Along with a dull pounding on the door, the sound of Krause's entreaty, I don't know, could be heard. Wait. The sequence of things went. Maria and Rosa had a fight. Maria was left there alone. Everyone else went inside, and Rosa came back to the mansion. Then Rosa fell asleep. And when she woke up, she went back to search, and apparently Beatrice had arrived in the meanwhile. Like, this all, like, pushes my idea forward that Rosa is somehow housing the body or mind of Beatrice, or is Beatrice unknowingly? Because she could have been Beatrice while she was asleep. Yeah, that's definitely an idea. I'm leaning more and more towards that, but let's keep going, I guess, and keep the door open towards the idea that Beatrice is just Beatrice and has nothing to do with Rosa. Sure, yeah, true. However, that voice seemed to harbor a sense of resignation that its sound would not reach its intended ears.
金蔵さん、せめて夕食くらいは出んかね。あんたの顔を見ようと息子さんたちが集まってきてるんじゃないか。黙れ南條。
Shut the fuck up, Nanjo.
ビショップが聞かぬか。
Who is the bishop in this case? Or are you just playing against Nanjo in chess?
言って足りぬ。
I mean, it's probably both. He is playing physically against Nanjo in chess, but also has some deeper meaning. But who would be the bishop out of the character list? So the bishop wouldn't work. I mean, we just had a scene with Mario and you and you guys. I don't know. We also had Genji here. I don't know. And Kraus was just at the door. The bishop won't work. Okay. Apparently, Kinzo was completely focused on the final battle of his long-lasting chess match with Nanjo. His brow wrinkled. He continued to glare at the game board through his spectacles. Kraus's voice didn't reach his ears. Get wrecked, Kraus.
金蔵さん、私も腹が減った。
Please, man, I'm fucking dying over here. Give me food.
下に降りて食事をせんか。
ならばお前だけで行くといい。私はもうしばらくこの一手を吟味させてもらうぞ。今夜で決着をつけてやる。
Okay.
さもなくば、お前との決着は金輪際つけられそうにないからな。
Are you implying that you are dying tonight? Nanjo stood from his seat, hoping this would prompt Kinzo to do the same, but Kinzo's eyes never left the chessboard. He knew well that Kinzo always displayed a blind concentration when it came to chess, but he had never seen Kinzo as focused as he was now. He was acting almost as though, just as he had said, if the game wasn't finished tonight, there would never be another chance for them to continue their contest. I guess it could also mean that Nanjo is dying tonight. Yeah, he would definitely be candidate for being the first one killed. Further attempts to persistently call him would surely not reach his heart. Nanjo gave up and headed to the door that Kraus was still banging on. The door to the study opened. Kraus took a step back. Surely Kinzo hadn't actually come out. But it was Nanjo who stood at the door. Kraus breathed a sigh of relief. Imagine calling to your dad and then someone opening the door and it's actually not your dad and you feel relief that you were wrong or that he didn't actually pay attention to you.
南條先生、親父殿は
お役に立てなくて申し訳ございませんな。今や金蔵さんの世界はこの部屋だけです。
Nanjo shook his head with a completely defeated expression. Kraus raised his fist once more and banged on the door, shouting,
お父さん、聞こえますか？
No.
私たちは下へおりますが、気が向かれたらいつでもおいでください。息子兄弟一同、ずっとお待ちしておりますよ。
The voice was very loud, and the door was being noisily pounded on. There was no way that it wouldn't reach Kinzo's ears. It was reaching him. However, he was ignoring it anyway. Yeah, true. That's what I would do too if Kraus was calling out to me. However, unlike the time he was being called down for lunch, he did not get into a rage. Kinzo was now simply calm at heart, and it was almost as though he had attained peace by turning himself over to fate. Interesting.
晩餐にも息子たちの顔にも興味はない。私がここを出るのはベアトリーチがよみがえる時か、私が鍵の生贄に選ばれた時だけだ。
As a sacrifice for the key. You sacrifice the six chosen by the key. Okay.
もう悪魔のルーレットは回っている。
Ooh, spooky. Also, what do you mean, Beatrice? When Beatrice is resurrected, she's alive and apparently out in the rain currently.
今さら晩餐に何の意味があろう。
Of course, it would mean that fully reincarnated, like getting her own body and being able to freely roam around. Unlike in my idea that she is somehow inhabiting or possessing Rosa's body. As though the painfully loud banging on the door had completely failed to enter his hearing, Kinzo, in a state of total peace, silently thought about his next chess move. Just as always, Kinzo was the only one missing from the dining hall. Kraus, wearing a bitter smile, returned with Nanjo.
親父殿は相変わらずご気分が優れられないそうだ。
Yep.
年に一度の親族が集まるこの機会に同席できないことを非常に残念がられておられた。
Truly, truly. Ava and Rudolph snickered. Yes. Judging by Kinzo's character, he didn't regret it at all. And none of his relatives regretted that he hadn't appeared either.
ではディナーを始めようじゃないか。
Hey, there we go.
ゴーダ、始めたまえ。
かしこまりました。
My guy, you have such an evil face. Like, you have the butt chin and what's up with these fox eyes and these eyebrow shapes? I guess you have more wicked eyebrows right now, but these two. And you have also a clean 3-7 cut.
それでは始めさせていただきます。
Upon finally being told to begin the family conference dinner, his highlight scene for the whole year, Goda nodded, grinning broadly.
マリアに傘を貸してくれた人は誰かしら？
Now Maria is gonna fly into a rage because you are asking for a third time. When Rosa timidly cut through the silence of the dining hall, everyone there turned their attention to her at once. Oh.
傘？何の話？
さっきマリアがバラ庭園にいた時に雨が降り出して誰かに白い傘を借りたみたいなんだけど、お礼が言いたくて。
俺たちじゃねえぜ。ローザが出てった後は部屋を移してずっと仲良くおしゃべりをしてたからな。
はは、そうやで。あの後も兄弟で仲良くおしゃべりをしとったのや。
The word friendly fell awkwardly from Hideyoshi's lips, so that even those that hadn't been there realized that it hadn't been a pleasant conversation.
少なくとも私とエヴァとルドルフと、あと秀吉さんとキリエさんではないことも確かだがね。
I don't know, never count out Kirie.
私たちは夏日姉さんとローザさんが出て行った後もずっと一緒だったわ。
She just has this, I don't know, weird assassin feel to her.
食事の時間までずっとね。
兄さんは源氏さんと一緒にお父様を呼びに上の書斎へ。私たちはそのまま食堂へ直行したもの。だから私たちではないわね。傘を貸すなんて親切、使用人の誰かじゃないの？
I mean, true, it could be, but it wasn't canon apparently. So, Shannon or Kumasawa then. Or, maybe, I mean, yeah, got it, maybe too. I've been wondering, what's the design on this hairpin? Like, is it supposed to be like, is this a above piece here? Is this like a rosebud? This is supposed to be a rose? Or is it just random shape? This would be the bottom of the rose, and these would be like the, I don't know, leaves sprouting out, and this would be the rose itself. Itself.
じゃあゴーダさん？
私はずっと厨房で準備をしておりましたもので。
Never believe any word he says. He's lying.
申し訳ございません。
Goda looked slightly disappointed about missing this chance to show off. At that time, Shannon and Kumasawa appeared, pushing a serving cart loaded with hors d'oeuvre. I forgot how that's pronounced. Hors d'oeuvre? I don't know. Whatever. That's the before main dish, right?
じゃあ熊沢さんかシャノンちゃんかしら。はい。何か粗相がございましたでしょうか。
Yes, it was your fault. Shannon shrunk, mistakenly thinking that she was being accused of making some error, having come in part way.
違うよ。マリアちゃんがバラ庭園に一人でいた時に雨が降ってきてね。誰かが傘を貸してくれたんだよ。
I mean, you do have white clothing, so white umbrella would go with your design.
ローザおばさんがその人にお礼を言いたいって言うのさ。
ああ、ベアトリーチェ。
Maria, her mouth a thin line, said the witch's name in a small voice. Auntie Rosa explained the situation one more time. As she did, Kumasawa-san cackled. Okay, what's going on, Kumasawa? It's been a while. I love to always hear your laugh.
私たちでもございませんよ。私もシャノンさんも一緒にお部屋の準備をしておりましたから、お外には出ておりません。
はい。気が利かなくてすみません。
部屋の準備
Oh?
とは何のことかね。
この雨ですから客人の皆さんがゲストハウスにお帰りになられるのも大変かと思って使用人たちに屋敷内の客室の準備をするように命じたのです。
Okay, clutch. Good idea, Natsuhi.
あら、気が利くじゃない。そうね、この雨の中表に追い出すのは失礼だものね。
もう予算か。
はい。奥様からそのようにご指示を受けまして、私と熊沢さんとカノン君の3人で準備をしておりました。そしてご夕食の時間になり、源氏様からゲストハウスのお子様方をお呼びするようご指示をいただいたため、カノン君が言ってくれたのです。
ええ。ですからカノンさんがゲストハウスに行かれる時にマリアさんを見つけて傘をお渡ししたのではありませんか？
Unless he is lying, then no.
ほー。
Ooh, the wind picked up.
違う。
And rumbling in the sky. The person who had actually received the umbrella denied it. Rosa was troubled. All she wanted to do was give a word of thanks to the person who had lent the umbrella, but she couldn't find them. And she had thought that asking like this with everyone gathered for dinner would work immediately.
じゃあ夏日姉さん。
ごめんなさい。私は皆さんとの仲良くの語らいの後、頭痛がひどかったので自分の部屋で休んでいました。
You're also piquing my interest a little bit because of the whole Rosa Beatrice idea I had. Headache? Maybe something to do with that, but I don't know. Let's keep an open mind.
ですから表へは出ていません。
なら誰なの？
Beatrice.
ジョージ君たち？なわけないわよね。
いえ、僕たちじゃありません。僕たちはずっとゲストハウスでテレビを見てました。
むしろ私たちはマリアはおばさんと一緒に屋敷に行ったとばかり。
そこへカノン君が来て、マリアは一緒じゃないのかと聞いたんで、初めて屋敷にはいないのかって分かったんだよ。第一俺だったら傘を貸すより先に手引っ張って屋根の下に連れて行くぜ。
Ooh, I don't think we've heard this track before. Rosa was completely baffled. One by one, the relatives and the servants were claiming that it wasn't them, even though it really wasn't something anyone would need to hide. With that, by process of elimination, the number of people it could have been wasn't large.
もちろん私でもありませんが、雨が降り始めてすぐの頃、金蔵さんの部屋を訪ねて、ついさっきまで一緒にチェスをしておりました。
ということは、おじい様でもないよね。
うん。
なんだなんだ。妙な話になってきたぜ。
Yeah, intriguing mystery.
あと残るのは誰だ？
じゃあ誰？源氏さん？ちょっと待って。勘違いしないでくれる？別に私は何かの犯人探しをしてるんじゃないのよ。
True.
雨の中のマリアに傘を差し伸べてくれた人に母としてお礼が言いたいだけなの。
Giving an umbrella to a girl loitering in the rain was something to be praised, not hidden. Despite that, no one raised their hand. Why? Everyone started whispering about how strange this had gotten. Yeah, very intriguing.
落ち着けよ、ローザ。傘を借りた本人に聞けばいいじゃねえか。
An idea that everyone would agree makes sense. They were all scratching their heads at why she didn't just ask Maria, who had been given the umbrella. Well, I don't think you guys heard that she gave a name already, but I guess it's your time to be surprised. However, Rosa bit her lower lip. After all, she already knew how Maria would answer if asked.
どうりや。ルドルフ君の言う通りやないか。マリアちゃん、おじさんに教えてえな。マリアちゃんに傘を貸してくれたのは誰や？
ベアトリーチェ。
And everyone's gonna fall silent. The dining hall was wrapped in silence for an instant, but that soon broke and it was wrapped in laughter. Oh, laughter. I thought it was gonna be an actual discussion, or like murmurings, but okay.
なるほど。森の魔女ベアトリーチェが不憫に思って傘を貸してくれたか。いい話じゃないかね。
True.
ローザ、そういうことだ。
Rosa didn't seem satisfied. She just wanted to say thanks for the umbrella. Why did everything have to be so clouded in smoke?
クラースおじさんの言う通り、ベアトリーチェが貸してくれた
の。He's probably thinking inside his mind like, what the fuck is this kid saying?
それはよかった。無垢だというのは実に羨ましいことではないか。
Okay.
なあ、諸君。
Rouse was laughing with a face that was clearly mocking her. But Maria, apparently feeling that her claim was being believed, was overjoyed.
一体どうなってんだ？まさか本当に魔女が現れて傘を貸したってのかよ。
That seems to be the case. But we're delving so deep into everyone's disbelief that it makes me think that there's actually something more going on. Jessica asked me in a small voice that wouldn't carry over to Maria, who was sitting across from me.
マリアって冗談が言えるタイプだっけ？
No. If we had heard that kind of story pop up out of that old bastard's mouth, we'd have just taken it as another joke. However, coming from Maria's mouth, it became somewhat inexplicable, strangely unsettling.
いや、昔から愚直なぐらい正直で真面目だよ。普通なら聞いただけで嘘とわかるような冗談すら鵜呑みにするタイプだぜ。マリアから冗談を言い出すなんて聞いたこともない。
Until Rosa probably knew that better than anyone. It appeared that because of this weird situation, she had no idea what was going on anymore.
じゃあマリアがベアトリーチェに傘を借りたと言ったなら、それは間違いなくベアトリーチェなのか。
マリアに関してだけは何かの比喩とか冗談とかそういうことは考えられねえぜ。
I mean, it could also, like, there is always also the possibility that someone is just playing fiddles and they like dressed up as, like, disguised themselves as something close to what Beatrice would look like, and then went to Maria, and now they are just hiding the facts. I don't know why they would do that.
額面通りの意味だと思うべきだろうよ。
So that's why I'm just because I can't find a reason for people to do that. That's why I'm leaning more towards it was the actual Beatrice or the Rosa idea. But I guess we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
じゃあなんだよ。源氏さんあたりがあの肖像画のごついドレスを着てマリアに傘を持って行ってやったっていうのか。
I hate that I'm on the same wavelength as Battler. Oh no. Oh no.
そんなことは知らねえぜ。私が聞きたいくらいさ。
Jessica shrugged jokingly, but her expression wasn't completely joking. Once the Audiver were set out and Goda showed off his vast store of knowledge, the meal began. A couple of casual chats broke out here and there, but they seemed somehow distant. It was a quiet dinner, granting no respite from the intrusive sound of rain that was creeping into the dining hall. Yeah, everyone has the umbrella incident in their minds. Masawa and Shannon, pushing the serving carts, ran into Genji and Kanon on their way to the kitchen.
Genji-san desu ka? Maria-sama ni kasa o kasareta no wa?
Also, I'm actually gonna scream if Battler's idea of Genji putting on a dress is the correct one. That would be, yeah, that would make this the best story of all time.
Kasa?
Magical girl run over Genji.
何のことだ？
はい。雨が降り出した時にマリア様は一人でバラ庭園におられたそうで、そこでどなたかに傘をお借りになったそうなのですが、それがどなたかわからないのです。
We do?
僕じゃないよ。マリア様はゲストハウスにいると思ってたくらいだからね。バトラ様が最初に見つけられた時にはもう白い傘をお持ちだった。
Now the real question is, did this mansion have white umbrella? I mean, I would associate white umbrellas more with rich people, like parasols and such, fancy designs or just pure white stuff. So maybe, let's like start thinking from that angle.
申し訳ないが、それは私でもない。
じゃあまさか親方様でしょうか？
No. Everyone in both the dining hall and the place where they were standing now had stated that it wasn't them. I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say except Kinzo, but we know it's not Kinzo, which meant that only Kinzo was left. But
何かのご用で廊下を歩かれているとき、偶然バラ庭園に傘もささないマリア様が見えたとか。
親方様はマリア様のことをあまりお好きではない。
同感だね。親方様がマリア様のために直々に開花までお越しになって傘をお持ちくださるとは考えられないよ。
Sure.
あら、困りましたわね。ではマリア様に傘をお貸しになられたのは本当にベアトリーチェ様ってことに？
Yeah, I don't know why we're making this so difficult. It just was Beatrice. She's always getting plus points every time she laughs. Umasawa laughed, just like the relatives in the dining hall all had laughed it off. She couldn't think of any other way to break through the smoke veiling the current situation. Just then, the crisp sound of hands clapping twice rang through the hallway. Kraus? Oh, hello, Goda. They all turned around at once to see that it was Goda who was coming out of the dining hall.
さあさあ皆さん。
Chop chop.
ディナーは配膳のタイミングも大事です。すぐにスープの配膳に取り掛かってください。源氏さん、彼女らは大切なお仕事中ですので、お引き止めになられないでください。
Kanon glared at Goda for being rude to Genji, person Kanon respected. Genji, realizing this, patted Kanon once on the shoulder as if to warn him. Kanon reluctantly turned away and returned his expression to normal. Good guy, Genji.
ゴーダの指示に従いなさい。今は晩餐の配膳を急ぐよう。
ほらほら、時間がありません。タラタラしない。急ぎますよ。
Goda grabbed the serving cart from Shannon and drove it past her, heading towards the kitchen at pace.
では、私どもも厨房に戻らせていただきます。高田さんも気の短い方ですからね。
私もこれで失礼いたします。
Umasawa and Shannon left. Yeah. Only Genji and Kanon remained. Yeah. Through the window, the darkness of the rainy night could be seen, along with the occasional thunderbolt.
源氏様。
That's a new track.
ベアトリーチェ様が本当にお戻りになられたのでしょうか。
わからん。
親方様にお知らせしますか。
せずともよい。
Are we sure? I think he would be overjoyed.
本当にお戻りになられたなら、やがておのずと親方様の前へ現れよう。
Would she? I feel like she would avoid him like the plague. Although I don't know.
それに、あれは気まぐれなお方。
Maybe Beatrice herself is the one who chooses the sacrifices and does the killings. So maybe.
親方様にご報告申し上げたところで、お姿を現されないことには何の意味もない。
Okay, I can understand that point of view.
親方様の儀式はすでに始まっているということでしょうか。
And it really feels like you two, I mean, you obviously take it everything seriously, but it really feels like you are kind of believing this whole thing compared to the older siblings, or like just shrugging it off, which is cool. It's cool that we have like our non-believers and our believers, and Genji and Kanon here don't necessarily need to believe, but at least they are taking it seriously and not giving people crap.
おそらく。だがそれは我ら家具には何の関わりもないこと。
Interested in this keyword still.
親方様に受けたご恩、最後の瞬間までお返しするのみ。
So you're expecting to die, or maybe not. Maybe it's just we will serve you until our lives end, kind of a deal. Not that you're necessarily expecting to die during this ritual, but sure.
それが僕たち家具の務めです。
Ooh, the thunder crashed once more. Except for that instant when the lightning lit up the sky, all that could be seen out of the window was the darkness of night. Just as humans rule when the sun is up, The time when the sun is down is ruled by those that are not human. Cool. Cool. Why are we outside? There's no one outside right now. The darkness of the night that now surrounded Rokkenjima was ruled not by the Ushiromiya family, but by another master. Did this master take pity on Maria when she was alone and pummeled by the rain in the rose garden and lent her an umbrella? Hanon looked at the rose garden's lights dimly visible beyond the window. The dim lights were not enough to illuminate the surrounding area. Looking at those lights felt like making eye contact with the witch, and Kanon forcibly averted his gaze. Ooh, spooky. If he didn't, it felt like his eyes would be absorbed by that light. Very cool. Almost chills. Good dialogue, good mood. Perhaps the weather was also a factor. Yeah, it definitely is. You often hear stories about how things like atmospheric pressure can influence people's mood and physical health. Yes, very much so. For some time now, everyone had been making periodic attempts to clear the gloomy atmosphere. But any conversation was quickly cut off, and in the end, the dining hall was simply buried by the sound of the rain. Dessert was some kind of a chocolate cake accompanied by pear sherbet. Goda-san enthusiastically explained the recipe as if delivering the coup de grace, but I quickly forgot the details. The guest of honor, grandfather, was absent. The weather was horrible, and the person who had lent Maria the umbrella was still a mystery. When dinner ended, no one felt even one bit refreshed. It was too late now, but I realized painfully that taste wasn't the only important part of a meal. The whole atmosphere was also critical. True. Eating alone in silence in a table is I very much enjoy my meals, like probably many others, in my own room, lights closed, sitting at the computer watching YouTube videos. That's peak. I mean, it's not peak, but it's peak. Goda-san, the supposed conductor of this performance called dinner, did his best to enliven the place. Enliven, I guess. Dropping little jokes left and right, but it seemed they didn't quite get there. Yeah, get out of here, Goda. This isn't a rom-com. This is a psychological mystery. Stupid. After taking orders for after-dinner coffee, tea, and orange juice, he left for the kitchen. As soon as he disappeared, Uncle Kraus spoke.
Yare.
Yeah, your fault. Your servant is not being capable of making a good dinner experience. Sucks to be you.
せっかくゴーダが腕を振るってくれた晩餐も、こうも沈み込んでしまっては実に味気ないというものだ。
まったくね。今日は何を食べても美味しく感じられない、そういう気分よ。
ほう。どうしてそういう気分なのか聞きたいね。
Because it's you who is producing this whole thing.
心が晴れ晴れできるよう、兄として後で協力させてもらうよ。
Auntie Ava grimaced slightly. Ooh. Is he getting under your skin once more? I had already heard that she was not on good terms with Uncle Kraus, but now I could clearly feel it. When I looked around, I noticed that my dad and Auntie Rosa were also grimacing. Anyhow, it looked like there was something besides the weather that was troubling all of them. Yeah. Kraus be doing Kraus things.
エヴァおばさんもうちの親父もずいぶん機嫌が悪そうっすね。
そう。 私はそうは思いませんよ。
Yeah? I asked Aunt Natsuhi, who was sitting on my right, but it looked like she was also in a bad mood. She snapped back as though she was absolutely not interested.
まあちょいと大人な話で込み入ってな。
Blackmailing was attempted and kinda failed.
バトラ君たち子供は気にせんでええ話や。なあ夏日さん、キリエさん。
Uncle Hideyoshi laughed as he spoke, but without his usual brightness. So I could vaguely imagine just how complicated their adult conversation had actually become. On top of that, even Aunt Natsuhi and Kirie-san, the people he had directed his comment to, ignored him, as though they hadn't heard anything. Oof, tough crowd, tough crowd. I didn't know what kind of conversation they had been having while we kids were away, but it reminded me of how Dad had said he had stomach cramps when we arrived at the mansion. The family conference might have been a playful reunion to us kids, but it was definitely different for the adults, yeah. After Uncle Hideyoshi was ignored by the other adults, an awkward silence fell over the room. Kirie-san spoke up. Yeah, what's up, Kirie? Give me the lowdown, please.
子供たちの進路はどうなるのかしらとか、そういう話よ。
Yes.
バトラ君は将来はどうするの？ぼんやりと大学進学？そんなのじゃ長い人生レースのスタートラインとしては心細いわよ。
あいたたたたたた。
Yeah, same. Me too.
キリエさん、飯の最中にそんな話されちまったら消化不良で便秘になっちまうぜ。
Never mind, you lost me. I forgot that he's the kind of guy who would tell poop jokes. I mean, nothing wrong with that, of course. They can be funny, and they are funny. Watch Gintama. They're the best. Anyway.
そうやそうや。バトラ君やジェシカちゃんの進路の話をしとったんや。将来のことは真剣に考えんとあかんで。
Ha 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 ha. Hideyoshi heartily agreed, as if they really had been talking about that, but they probably hadn't. No, they hadn't. They really hadn't. Kirie-san had obviously been trying to avoid talking about something. However, if Kirie-san had determined that this was the best course of action for now, then she was probably right. Yes. Taking this into account, I decided to cast aside my suspicions as to the cause behind Auntie Ava and Dad's bad moods. Good idea. At long last, the serving cart returned, filled with coffee and tea. No orange juice? Umasawa-san and Shannon-chan served it to everyone. Oda-san then explained that, with this, tonight's dinner was over. If I had been able to eat in a more cheerful mood, it might have been the best dinner of my life, but the mood was awful, 2 out of 5. It was a shame that this greatest of dinners couldn't have been had under the greatest of conditions. Maria was having fun.
ジョージお兄ちゃん、これでご飯は終わり？
うん。これでおしまいだよ。
はしてないわよ。お席について落ち着いてジュースを飲みなさい。
Mm-hmm. Maria looked like she was really excited about the occasionally crashing thunder. Maybe she wanted to quickly finish eating and run over to the window. She had been fidgeting for a while, waiting for the meal to end. Some people are afraid of thunder, while others find it interesting, and Maria was apparently one of the latter. I find it interesting. I'm not really afraid. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to get hit by one, and I'm afraid of getting hit by one, but not to the point of cowering when I'm inside. So, when she heard from George Aniki that dinner was over, huge smile broke across her face. She then stood from her seat, took out her handbag. Is this a new sprite? We had this before. Was this one of the sprites we had at the beach earlier? Took out her handbag, which she had set under her seat, never having left it even while she was eating, and began fishing around inside of it. No one seemed particularly concerned with this behavior.
なんだいそれは。どこから持ってきたの
George was the first to notice it. Yeah, what you got? Something more from Beatrice, maybe? As he spoke, Battler also noticed. Hello, mystery letter. But it has to decide. It could be from, I don't know, Kinzo. It's probably related to the whole Beatrice idea. When they looked, they noticed that Maria was now holding a beautiful Western-styled envelope. On the front of the envelope, the Ushiromiya family crest, the one-winged eagle, was done in gold leaf. Furthermore, it was sealed with dark red wax, imbuing a level of class upon it that made it clear that this was not something that Maria should be carrying around for fun. Yeah?
Maria-chan, それは何?
Ooh, interesting. Getting an immediate reaction. It seemed that Natsuhe had also noticed the strangeness of the envelope that Maria was holding. Because her voice sounded too serious to be admonishing a small child, the other relatives around her finally noticed. Yeah?
どうしたよ、夏日姉さん。
You know, an important mystery letter.
それ何?
マリア、あなた、それをどこで拾ったの?
You know, Beatrice gave it to her.
その封筒は金蔵さんの
As Nanjo muttered that, even us kids could understand why everyone seemed to be frozen solid. Yeah? The envelope that Maria held was one of the Ushiromiya family head's custom-made envelopes for private use. In other words, it could only mean one thing. This envelope contained a message from Kinzo. Uki?
ほう。どうしてそんな封筒がここにあるんだね。
こいつは面白いもんが飛び出してくるぜ。
ちょいとわしに見せてみ。
Nope. I feel like, I don't know, either Kraus is gonna read it aloud or Battler is gonna read it aloud.
ダメ、マリアが読むの。
Sure. Are you capable of reading difficult kanji? If there is some inside? I mean, there probably is.
マリアがみんなに読んで聞かせなさいって言われたの。
There's probably some very difficult and old archaic kanji. Some real tuney shit written by Kinzo. Assuming it's written by Kinzo and not Beatrice, but it seems to lean towards Kinzo. Anyways, Uncle Hideyoshi tried to snatch the envelope out of Maria's hands, but she protected it as though hugging it and didn't let go. Okay, let's go.
秀吉兄さん、子供相手に力づくなんていけませんよ。マリアちゃん、その封筒はどうしたの?
Yeah. She's gonna say Beatrice again.
傘を貸してくれた時にベアトリーチェにもらった。
Of course. Of course. And now everyone's gonna believe that it was Kinzo who gave the umbrella to her as well.
ご飯が終わったらマリアがみんなに読んで聞かせろって言われた。
But yeah, it's interesting how much more involved in this whole process Beatrice seems to be. I had more of an idea that she was much more like, I don't know, hands off or more fickle, not caring about Kinzo's plans, but I guess she's into this whole game system. I mean, it could be fun, and I feel like she would be searching for fun. I don't know.
マリアは魔女のメッセンジャーなの。
Good job.
メッセンジャーこの島の魔女様は随分と洒落てるじゃねえかよ。
Battler tried to joke about it, but no one went along with it with him.
それで中には何て書いてあるのかしら、マリアちゃん。
読む。
Okay. Maria casually opened the envelope. It was sealed only with wax, so she just had to remove the sealing wax to open it. That sealing wax fell onto the desk, of course. Hideyoshi hastily picked it up and stared fixedly at it. Okay. Okay, Hideyoshi, sure. He then set it in the center of the table, where Natsuhi, Kirie, and Nanjo glared at it, right? I guess they're just examining that it's real. Imprinted there in the sealing wax was the one-winged eagle, which was the Ushiromiya family crest, and also Kinzo's personal crest.
これは当主様の紋章。
私は金蔵さんに手紙をもらったことがあるからわかる。これは間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
でもこのお屋敷にはそれと同じ紋章がいくつもあるのでは。例えば風浪用のハンコのようなものがあれば、金蔵さんでなくても風浪はできるのでは。
I think this is a new angle of her. Cool.
いや、金蔵さんは風浪には必ず自分が指にしている後ろ宮家当主の証の指輪で刻印をする。この形や複雑な意匠は間違いなく金蔵さんの風浪だ。
そうとは限らんよ。
Yeah, you think that someone counter-engineered the emblem from the wax itself?
親族であれば一度くらいは親父の手紙を受け取ったことはあるはずだ。
Ah, right, and then reused the same thing. They just carefully removed it without damaging it.
その風浪をもとに偽の紋章を作り、親父殿を語って刻印した可能性が否めない。
Sure.
兄貴に同感だ。風浪に刻印されている紋章がどれだけ親父のものに酷似していたとしても、間違いなく親父のものであるとは証明不能だぜ。だからその封筒が親父のものであるという証拠にはならない。
私も全く同じよ。風浪の刻印だけでお父様の手紙だなんて決めつけることには同意できないわ。南條先生、曖昧な言葉は慎んでいただけるかしら。
All the older siblings are very strict about this whole thing.
これは失礼。
失礼。
出過ぎた口でしたな。
One after another, all of the siblings, from Kraus downwards, rejected Nanjo's statement, saying that the envelope that Maria was holding had not necessarily been sent by Kinzo. They were afraid. Kinzo's intentions were written in there, and they feared from the bottoms of their hearts that it might be some decidedly unfavorable announcement regarding the inheritance. Yup.
マリア、その封筒は傘を貸してくれた人がくれたのね。じゃわからないでしょ。そうなの？
つまり魔女ベアトリーチェが傘と一緒にマリアちゃんにその封筒を。
Interesting. Maria nodded forcefully.
主人に私も同感です。得体の知れない何者かが手渡した怪文書です。
It's fun to see everyone be so spooked.
読むにも値しません。
Not even worth reading. Okay.
せめて読むくらいいいじゃねえかよ。
Oh, sorry.
せめて読むくらいいいじゃねえかよ。な。
Right. Battler said it to Jessica in a small voice, pretending to stir things up, but not till he heard him clearly and glared at him with threatening eyes. Threatening eyes.
それでマリアはベアトリーチェに食事が終わったら読めって言われたんだな。
いいじゃないの皆さん。これはおじい様の封筒ではなくベアトリーチェの封筒。誰が書いたのかはともかく中身を聞いてからの判断でもいいんじゃないかしら。
そうやな。お父さんが書いたとは限らんが、中身が気になるんは事実や。マリアちゃん、さっきは無理やり取ろうとしてすまんかった。謝るからみんなの前でそれ読み上げてくれんか。
マリア、読みなさい。
Little blush. As all of the relatives stared fiercely at Mariam, she spread the letter open with a rustle.
本当に親父の手紙だと思うか？
ありえんね。親父殿が私たちに何かを発表するときは直接でなければいつだって源氏さんを通してじゃないか。このようなこじゃれた方法でするとは思えんね。
そうよ。マリアをメッセンジャーに？それこそお父様の趣味じゃないわよ。ローザ、これはマリアちゃんが私たちを脅かそうという何かの隠し芸なんでしょ？
マリアはそんな気の利いたことができる子じゃないわ。
The words came out of Maria's mouth, but for some reason it felt like her voice was different than usual. Okay. Everyone went suddenly silent. Yeah, okay, quiet. Focus up, focus up.
六軒島へようこそ、後ろ宮家の皆様方。
Yeah, that's definitely a different voice. Also, much more cheaper track than I expected.
私は金蔵様にお仕えしております、当家顧問錬金術師のベアトリーチェと申します。
First of all, love that she uses watashi, and also alchemist. Okay.
そんなアホな。
I wonder if this specific track is Beatrice's track. Maybe not. Maybe it is. I don't know. It's kind of groovy.
黙って。
長年にわたりご契約に従いお仕えしてまいりましたが、本日金蔵様よりその契約の終了を宣告されました。よって本日をもちまして当家顧問錬金術師のお役目を終了させていただきますことをどうかご了承くださいませ。
くだらん。ざれ言だ。
聞くに耐えません。
さてここで皆様に契約の一部をご説明しなければなりません。
Interesting. Also, this track is kind of popping off.
私ベアトリーチェは金蔵様にある条件とともに莫大な黄金の貸与をいたしました。
Under certain terms.
その条件とは契約終了時に黄金のすべてを返還すること。
Yeah, the adults are not gonna like that.
そして利息として後ろ宮家のすべてを頂戴できるというものです。
Okay.
むちゃくちゃや。
初めっからむちゃくちゃだぜ。
要するにあれだろ？よくある悪魔の契約みたいなやつなんだろ？
Yep. I don't know if I ever mentioned said those words exactly, deal with the devil, but it was pretty obvious that that was the idiom. Or like, yeah.
ほんで契約がおしまいってことになるから利子を回収に来たってわけだ。いいんや？ 長年の退職金のつもりかな。ちゃっかりした魔女だぜ。
バトラ君、今は茶化さない方がいい。
I don't know, George. Are you hearing this backing track? Battler made a face as if to ask, if I can't make fun of this, what can I make fun of? At the same time, some of the adults' faces were pale, while others looked completely shocked.
これだけをお聞きならば、皆様は金蔵様のことをなんと無慈悲なのかとお嘆きにもなられるでしょう。しかし金蔵様は皆様に富と名誉を残す機会を設けるため、特別な条項を追加されました。
Okay.
その条項が満たされた時に限り、私は黄金と利子を回収する権利を永遠に失います。
And you accepted this clause?
特別な条項？
それは何よ？
Clearly solved the mystery of the epitaph.
特別条項。
Oh?
契約終了時にベアトリーチェは黄金と利子を回収する権利を持つ。ただし、隠された契約の黄金を暴いた者が現れた時、ベアトリーチェはこの権利を全て永遠に放棄しなければならない。
Right.
利子の回収はこれより行いますが、もし皆様のうちの誰か一人でも特別条項を満たせたなら、すでに回収した分も含めて全てお返しいたします。
I shall return everything, including the portion that has already been collected. Okay.
なお、回収の手始めとしてすでに後ろ宮本家の家督を受け継いだことを示す後ろ宮家当主の指輪をお預かりさせていただきました。
Okay.
封印のろうそくにてそれをどうかご確認くださいませ。
これがそうだというのか。
Kraus is not happy.
親父が指輪を手放すなどありえん。
Kraus was staring at the ceiling wax as though he was trying to burn a hole through it. Ava and Rudolph were doing the same over his shoulder.
確かにチェスの時、金蔵さんの指に何か足りんような違和感は感じ取りました。
南條先生、おぼろげな記憶でいい加減なことを言わないように。
その心眼をここでは測れないわ。本当に指輪をお父様は確かに手渡したのか、この手紙が本当の話かどうかはお父様に直接確認すればいいだけの話じゃない。
I mean, there's one slight problem. He might not answer you. He might just ignore you.
そうね。キリエさんの言う通りだわ。
果たして金蔵さんがそれを答えてくれますかな。
Yeah.
あの人のお考えは時に人の世の常識では測りかねますからな。
どのみちざれ言の域を出んね。第一、黄金幻想自体が親父殿のまやかしだ。
I mean, sure.
ありもしない黄金の話を始めるのはお前たちだけで十分だ。
でも魔女様はおっしゃってるわよ。
It's really fun to see them all being so taken aback, and like really into this and really spooked by this whole thing when they quote unquote don't believe in the gold in the first place.
黄金を見つけた者に家督とすべての財産を引き渡すってね。
But yeah, this claim surely would raise eyebrows and make them worried.
つまりベアトリーチェ様はお父様の顧問弁護士もしくは金庫番でもあられるってことじゃないのかしら。このような怪しげな文章を子供に託すような怪人物を信用することなどできません。
兄貴、腹を割ってもらうぜ。兄貴の知らない人物が親父の財産管理をしているようなことはあり得るのか。
いや、それはない。私は当主代行として親父殿の全ての財産を把握している。私に知られずにそれらを自由にできる人間はいないはずだ。
Have you heard of this magical term called witch or magic?
じゃあつまりクラウス兄さんの把握していない財産ってことじゃないの？
バカな、そんなものあるわけがない。
About the gold?
あるわよ。兄さんが把握していないお父様の資産。
Mm-hmm.
そんなものあるわけがありません。
いや、あるで。それがお父さんの、いや、ベアトリーチェの隠し黄金や。
話を整頓しよう。つまり親父には兄貴も知らない腹心がいた。そしてそいつはずっと黄金の番と運用を任されてきたわけだ。あるいは悪魔の契約まがいのルールで融資した神塚の大富豪か。
Sure.
その腹心のベアトリーチェさんは自分の黄金を融資する相手として息子兄弟の誰がふさわしいか試したいということなのかしら。
Or she's just having fun. What Kirie said was something that all of the siblings wanted clarified, although Kinzo did say that he wanted to test the children. Upon reflection, they realized that during the time Kinzo's strange epitaph had been displayed in the hall beneath the portrait of the witch, they had always whispered that the one who solved the puzzle would receive everything, yet no one had ever clearly stated it. It was just something that everyone had hoped might be true. That had, right here, right now, been clearly expressed by Beatrice's letter. It clearly specified that everything of the Yoshiromiya family would be given to the one who found the gold.
黄金の隠し場所については、すでに金蔵様が私の肖像画の下に碑文にて公示されております。
Mm-hmm.
条件は、碑文を読むことができるものすべてに公平に。
Ooh, bad luck. Maria probably can't read it. I mean, she has memorized it, so it's fine, but I don't know. Maybe she has specifically learned all the kanji in the epitaph.
黄金を暴けたなら、私はすべてをお返しするでしょう。
Mm-hmm. But because it would be funny if Maria was in the end the one to receive it, but then it would be void because she couldn't actually read it. It would be funny. But no.
それではどうか今宵を金蔵様との知恵比べにて存分にお楽しみくださいませ。
Let's battle. Let's duel.
今宵が知的かつ優雅な夜になるよう心よりお祈りいたしております。黄金のベアトリーチェ。
Beatrice the Golden. Very cool.
お父さん、聞こえているはずです。
The wind is picking up. Clearly can't hear him.
返事をしてください。
The door to Kinzo's study was being violently beaten against over and over again like a percussion instrument. The screams coming from the other side were Krause's, Rudolph's, and sometimes Ava's voices. It was the siblings who were trying to intrude upon Kinzo's study to question him about the truth behind the mysterious letter. Kinzo was eating. Kinzo was eating. An elegant tablecloth was set over the desk, and the fabulous dinner that had colored the table down in the dining hall was once again laid out. Kinzo continued his meal in silence. Cannon, taking away an empty plate, looked uncomfortably between the door being beaten on and Kinzo's face.
皆さんがお呼びですが、いかがいたしますか？
捨ておけ。神と我が晩餐は沈黙を尊ぶ。
Okay.
黙らせますか。
Oh. Genji gonna punch all of them out.
必要ない。我が耳には届いておらぬ。
Kinzo coolly tasted his food. Genji quietly lowered his head and took a single step back. As he did, Kanon, who stood in reserve, reserve, like a shadow behind, and to the side of Genji, opened his mouth.
マリア様がベアトリーチェ様より手紙を受け取られたとのことで、その真偽を確かめたいのでしょう。
あやつめ、早速始めおったか。さあ、ベアトリーチェ、かけるコインに不足はあるまい。存分に今宵を楽しもうではないか。負ける気はないぞ。お前の微笑みは永遠に私のものだ。もう一度見られるなら、富も名誉も我が命すらも惜しくはない。さて、ルーレットは回り始めた。ボールはどのポケットに落ちるのか。ノワールか、ルージュか、それとも親の総取りか。さあ始めるがいい、ベアトリーチェ。私が再びお前に奇跡の力というものを見せてやる。
Sure. Go for it, man. And chapter? Yeah. Very cool. I think that's a great ending point. Oh boy, 10 o'clock. Legend of the Gold. Yeah, that's a great ending point. Oh, what a good part. So much interesting stuff. History and letters and everyone being shocked. Now the games are afoot. Let me just quickly check if there was anything new. Was this always like this? That I feel like earlier on it might have been that all of the kids were like placed here, but now they are here. Like I have a feeling that they've expanded this, but I could be wrong. There's clearly room here. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't see anything new here. And it's nothing more than a pseudonym she uses when on duty, not her real name. Right, her real name is, I don't know, Beatrice. Sorry, it feels like I'm really stuck on that idea, but I'm not. I'm open to everything. I'm not locked in on a single idea, don't worry. Ooh, nice, we have a letter from the witch. Yeah, nothing new here. But yeah, this, it's a long one. Sure. Special clause. Ooh, it is all here, and we will definitely reference back to it when needed. Oh, okay. Yeah, this video has gone on for almost 2 hours, and that should be good enough. I'll see you guys again next time. Patreon down in the description, 2-week early access, all that good stuff. Okay, bye.